Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks.
I would have done the same.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible noble.
From what little I saw.
I suppose I should, but I was rather hoping the great and good of the... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in... We must move.
But where do we start?
True. The challenges that face us are the realm's army. As you've seen, certain cities have banded together. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces... In short, if Storm does not...
But how would one even begin?
The armies, my boy. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even... But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to...
I thought he was retired.
He was. Until an Akashic army tore through Randalar, and as luck would have it...
Of course, yeah.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of... frustration. I extolled your many virtues. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the...
Excellent.
No.
You all right? About that. Oi! Let's...
Something troubling you?
No more. It's just... Eda's baby.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when I'll let the little tykes know they were well.
So?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day.
Is there anything I can do to help? All right, then.
A good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One... There's not lucky and all the... Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and...
Only the big day is fast approaching.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call.
You're a good friend, Clive.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs.
The Guardians of the Flame were true friends to the rest. They fought our enemies, manned our barricades, joined us in our patrols.
Anything catch your eye? Very well.
Just because the heavens have gone to wreck and ruin, you don't...
How do you've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone?
I'm looking for a
If that's the case, no one has seen a silver... Word is, they were all hunted for their feathers. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be...
You're probably right.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 Nakashi.
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver.
But if it's fancies you're after...
Was a silver chocobo seen?
Oh, yes.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Whoever's idea it was to take those bearers away.
Look, Daddy. Shining so brightly.
Excuse me.
Oh.
A silver chocobo.
Oh, or maybe not. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, Cleet, near some gutted hovel, not far from most. Took him for a braggart. No.
We'll see. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon Tride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
We all know what we're doing then? All right, everyone to their positions.
My lord? Eventually, though. And while... And now, if we are to heal... Had you told me? Truth be told. So that's what I'm doing now. Eastpool is the duchy. Driving back the Horde was easy. Not that they're lazy. No. Found to give you strength.
Tracks. They're not by bandits for a change. More tracks. A chocobo was here. And... I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
It was no trouble at...
Clive, how'd you get on?
Any luck, you say?
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed...
Give it my best.
You can give it to you.
How are you feeling?
Well... Is...
Wrong? No.
Go on. Did you make...
We did. Aye. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north. I mean, a baby. Oh, I hope you...
I thank you.
If there's anything you need.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
No, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
Ah, you know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over, what with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister, and then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway, after I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
One of these days, I swear, it's gonna be me who drinks.
If by under the table you mean retching on my boot, I reckon one of those days was yesterday.
Ha ha, you think you're so funny. But just wait till we crack open the bottle I left. That stuff's strong enough to burn the horns off a...
Sounds like I'll be needing some new boots.
Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. It's just a...
What are you looking for?
A fine choice. Many thanks. Farewell.
Do you see that too?
What is it?
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Fire and flame!
A little longer than I'd have... Field Marshal Havel, are either of you...
No, my lord. You're... fucking traitors. I'd heard... but I hadn't thought the corruption had... It's a fuck you're interfering old bastard of my lord, Mark. Or is Sid the outlaw?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle...
Before I agree to it... I'd have you answer, what do you stand to...
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know for so long. So many of us have been told how we could live when it should have been our decision all along. But in order to take it, we must stand together.
Certainly not the words I expected from an... You are, no. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring... Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answered, we will need an envoy. One who can...
I'm flattered. And I have other problems too. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that, sir? And would he...
Of a different kind, but...
Beggars, I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his man.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, man.
And I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. Well, this isn't at all foreboding. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking... Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years.
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to the people of Lostwing are my... You'll have to find someone...
I'm sorry to hear that.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any... They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what... If it's that, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said...
You know that.
Then what are only we, or why turn your back on everyone else? Who's to say you couldn't...
A stirring. I fear that any rejoinder...
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to...
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, the Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree, he asked if I might have
one of you.
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his.
Another outlaw? Just the thing we need to put these rotten... Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain.
Oh, don't you? The 7 high houses. They have all agreed to make the most... Oh, of course, it did take a little. But luckily I had some...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's heads.
It was more of a...
Well... The old battle axe was so... She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private, and when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally... Now, I must join us there at your earliest...
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it, the fate of the world lies in but the well-being of her people lies in ours.
Uncle Byron.
Now, with that settled, for what great moment in history hasn't been Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford... Well, my boy...
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that we shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. I want you to keep this signed...
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
What do you think that thing is? How the hell is it?
There's something about it.
What do you think happened to...
Sid!
With what?
No!
It's Miss Middledore. Very
When she is, she acts like...
in the class.
That's what I...
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. Then it's probably just about the Enterprise.
You didn't break it, did you? Don't listen to...
But who's gonna put Miss Middledore?
Why don't I go and...
You do that. For us. She's in her...
Don't scare it.
Thanks for the warning. Ned.
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right. If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. Is this really so important that you need to shut...
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm. And that's... But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't... It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so the Fallen had their chance. But they relied too much on magic. And see where that... But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First...
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you... But if a godfather's offering to lend... First, I'll need oil. And not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the tub and crown. Then I'll need some bone. Or shell. Light. Strong, preferably...
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure...
No, they'll know where you might find some.
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Middledore mentioned a new project yet?
All right, Sid. Come to buy us a...
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project.
Most bones are the same, if it's durability you're looking for.
I do. Will any old adamantus...
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ape, but don't expect to make quick work of the buck.
I'll keep that in mind.
Twin Slate's hundreds of leagues away.
Mistake.
All yours, Tormund. Stay down. Now, Tormund. Tormund, kill. There's more! Now, Tormund!
Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide? It looks like we found him. If Mid needs another, she can come and get it.
Your Grace, my lord.
Cyril.
Yes. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive
the day before we left for Fleet.
What are these plans he spoke?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to the complete emancipation. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices, with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins. Archduke...
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. Small wonder he did not think it achievable with him.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Nor would he have entrusted his vision those who would have stood with you, shielded you.
It's a pity only they...
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess, but one at least remains.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that, after all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will.
And where is the...
She awaits you in the archive.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, your grace. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift.
Lift up your head, Lady God. You have our gratitude for your service to our house.
I merely did my duty.
My lady.
What exactly is the...
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of...
Indeed it has. Our father...
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures. Alas, he did not. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finish, but with His Grace long since gone. And the stone you are grown men now. And while I would not presume to insist upon, I know that nothing would have...
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am much...
Do you know where we might find this?
I do. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen...
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield?
What say you, Joshua?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Lord Marquis?
What is it?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait. He sent an owl some while ago.
Was he surveying
No. The object of his study was a saviour cult that has arisen in Ash, an ancient religion that worked by gaining an understanding of this new faith.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash?
Fully cognizant, I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order. Though he has been silent for some days now, yet it seemed only right to... For as you so earnestly advised me...
It would not. But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. The last out Mickleburg was it. It lies in the... If aught ill...
Right.
You are much. Go then, with my...
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is. For House Rossfield.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
thank the Griffin is...
And the Heartstone.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen. Thank you, my lord. Your father...
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be... If you would excuse me. The armbands are free. Take. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet. And the graven vines encircling this...
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies, enemies who would thwart his vision.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield.
Indeed. His Grace knew, but this was more. It was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast custodian.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite... The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant of the deep love he had for both of you. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewellery be sent away from the castle. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short.
And thank the Founder.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, and so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been...
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the...
It is.
If you would permit me to play my part a little, let him see that you have received his blessing.
I suppose it would be church. What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined. Since the day we recovered, I prithee claim it. And I do not doubt that your father would prefer it.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting. Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. We'll overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then?
Onward.
And to a new beginning.
Midsoil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Might this be Mickelberg?
These people aren't turned. And the village seems... What is going on?
Ah. Did you
heed the call? No, to be honest,
is that so?
What are you doing here?
It is my home. The others...
You keep saying that.
They came to perform the rite. This village is their oath, where they shall cast their show.
Give themselves.
Oh, Lord. Let us free us from...
They want to be... Forgive me. But...
You mean the traveler from Stone?
Thank you.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Excuse me.
I am. Lord Rosfield.
That's right, and you must be the...
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill.
He said that you had failed to report.
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. You have seen them at their... They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord, praying night and day that they might be... Not that they might be granted respite from their work. Serve him with... I, too, swore to devote my life to the service. And so I would see these people safe, that they might do their duty to their lord.
You do understand?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their will. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, forgive me, my lord. But I... Did you hear that, my lord?
I'll go and find out what. An ether flood. Oh no. There must be something. Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready. Yeah.
All yours, Torgal. Now, Torgal!
What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. Too slow. Let's try. Damn it! Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did, when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashyyyk in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
Here, take a look at my wares. Anything else?
News has reached us of the black bulk that soars over the strait. Lord Cyril has ordered our survey teams to investigate it forthwith. It would seem that your battle is coming.
My Lord Marquis, I am glad to...
I met with your third chair, Cyril.
Thank you. He remained?
He died protecting the... I buried him in Mickleba.
If you could not save...
The villagers, they prayed to their god that they might be... Then an ether flood came. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might... Even knowing that
Then he perished defending... For the right to choose how one dies.
Sid would agree.
A noble ambition. It matters not how misguided, only that the decision we live according to the teachings of our, for better or worse.
But he didn't die for your creed, and you still believe that what he did...
I believe we of the Undying are not, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this man's name, to know the names of all the Undying. They died serving my house. That is my...
Of course, I shall fetch the book of my lord. It the greatest honor of my life, though our duties may differ. Yours is no less important, and were they here, I haven't.
Our investigations into Ultima extend not only to ruins such as these, but to every man.
This might take a while. Enough of you, are there?
Quiet.
Clive! Quick look. Think you can help?
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Mid. Tell me.
It's most of what I need. And a cogwheel. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one.
Wait, the children. Now that I think about it,
The young'uns? But why would they... I'll keep working on the model. You go and find...
She's...
Do you think she'll let...
just a brasky.
Oh!
We saved it, just in case.
That's...
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear?
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your... hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Well? Will it work?
What exactly are you going to...
Only the most important... The wings aren't going to move on their own. But well... That should do her. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, it won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make... But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it? And I reckon I've got a fair few good...
I'm sure you do.